Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. On 1st and 10, Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Winston. He gives it to Humphries. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Here's Austin. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Elliott. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They get it to him running left. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And Beasley's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Give us to Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And hauled in by Gathers. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. They get it to him running left. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Gun.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Winston. Left side here. That's complete to Godwin. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. Throwing, Winston. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll throw again. Winston finding some room at midfield. This one complete to Charles Sims. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. The handoff comes to Stewart. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Eluding the pressure right. Right side caught by Jackson. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Jameis to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Taco Charlton in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 points?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go, 46.
Out of his end zone, Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Conte. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. Extra point hung the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And an alley to run. Oh, Prescott stripped, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Second down, Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Winston. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Tavon Austin, he's going to go. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tavon Austin with a return of 102 yards. And the Cowboys have broken the tie.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a handoff. This is Stewart. And he powers his way up past the 30. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Again, it's Elliott. They find some open field here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
They'll give to Elliott. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class, and there was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott on the left side. He finds Beasley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a handoff, running off, tackle right. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They go to Elliott again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. A big run that time by Elliott. 47 yards on the ground. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward it. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They go back to Stewart on first. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop. Now Jameis on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On third down, Winston. Flush to his right. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He may try and run for this. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Jackson. Back now in Arlington. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Flushed out right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made by Chris Conte. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A handoff left, Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Noah Spence in on the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Buccaneers have it. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he'll go down at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
After that 2nd catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. Winston on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. This is caught by Jackson. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
To the air again with Winston. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Prescott. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. Dak finding the former Jag Hurns for the Dallas 1st down. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And some room to run now. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
This is Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's Winston. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Winston. Oh, fighting off the defender. Evans has it left side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. A give to Elliott running left. A pretty decent gain on the tough run before he's brought down at the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it.